reason that I started El Regreso, as you know or might not know, I am part of this system. I've been clean now going on 45 years. Clean from heroin. I gave up smoking 26 years ago because I had cancer in my throat. I gave up drinking in 1984. And I also had a battle with hepatitis, so I've been clean. I've been in this field for a long time. We had an influx of Latinos coming into this country for the last maybe 10, 20, 30 years. And anytime they go seek help in any of the other programs, it is difficult for them because some of the other programs, and I say it openly, are not culturally sensitive to these folks. Some of them can't even speak English. Knowing that, that's why I created El Regreso. El Regreso is the bilingual, bicultural treatment program. Aquí se habla español. Anybody that's in the streets active using drugs, whether it be crack cocaine, heroin, drinking, pot smoking, you shooting heroin, they need to go into a hospital. El Regreso is a drug-free treatment program. I still work my heart out to help the people that we treat, but at the same time we have cleaned this neighborhood. This neighborhood wasn't that way. We cleaned this neighborhood. People could walk freely the streets, unlike before. This neighborhood was nothing but drugs. There was a corner store where I remember every 3 hours, close to $40,000 would come down on bags. That's how bad it was. You could buy a house here for nothing. For nothing. So I came back and I started the program in a little storefront on South 2nd and Roebling Street. That's the beginning of El Regreso. The name Regreso is because I came back to the neighborhood. I wanted to show people in the community that if you really work hard, if you change your life, you change your style, you change your bad habits. My people were dying here. I said, you know, this is a place where I could come in and show people that people like myself could make a difference. So I got together for some community members and we started developing and doing prevention work and making more contacts and developing. So from the storefront, then I built the first residential treatment program for men. The men's facility at 171 South 2nd Street, before I kind of took it over, was a shooting gallery. It was a furnished room house, shooting gallery. People usually, they would pay to somebody $1, you go upstairs, you shoot dope. And they had works in there, water, and that's what it was, a shooting gallery. Across the street were vacant buildings. And vacant buildings, and in some of the other buildings were like the stash houses. You see people in the roofs with the walkie-talkies and, you know, the old saying, bajando. Bajando meaning they're coming down. So if any cop will come into the neighborhood, the people in the roof will signal to the dope dealers. That's how it was. For me to come back, a person who grew up in the neighborhood, I had to ask permission to come in. I had asked permission to come in so that people that were doing the dealing and they knew that I wasn't coming here to lock anybody up. I was just trying to help somebody. I was given the green light to come in. If not, I would not have started this program. They would actually vandalize. In fact, there were a couple of times that I was robbed by some of the drug addicts. I'm trying to help, and they robbed me a couple of computers. They broke into the place. There was a guy by the name of Angelo Cruz who passed away. May he rest in peace. Me and him started the storefront. And I believe it or not, I had a pipe pipe about this size, and he had a 36 bat because people were shooting dope in the streets, and the kids be walking by. So we every once in a while had to go out into the streets and tell the guys, listen, you're not from here, don't do the echo. If you do that here, we're gonna have to hurt you. Because actually they were hurting our kids. They were hurting our children. So we had to use the law of the street. You do that again and we're gonna hurt you. Take you up somewhere else. That's the way it was. This, again, like I said before, was a drug market. Nobody wanted to live here. No one. And most of the buildings that you see now were abandoned buildings. There were a lot of abandoned buildings that now have been constructed, and condominiums, they're condominiums. And if you go down to the waterfront, forget about it. You can't live in the waterfront. And that's where most of the guys used to go shoot dope, and that was the stroll for all the girls. That was it. Kent Avenue was the stroll. In the infrastructure of the program is a women's program that houses 40 women, and you got to see the facility. That's an $8 million facility. And you got the old men's program at 171 South 2nd that was rebuilt from the bottom up between 1987 to 1991 when I opened. And right now we're in the process of getting more money from the state, and we're going to totally renovate the building, make it a little larger, bigger kitchen, underground garages. We're going to have schools, a house of school in there. We're going to do our own vocational training probably there, because I have a license to do my own vocational training, so that our people don't have to go anywhere out of the city, but in-house we will do everything they need. Everything that we do is in-house. Every therapy, from counseling, family counseling, groups, crisis intervention, we do it in. We have a medical department, we have a vocational department, we have a maintenance department, we have a kitchen. Everything that we do is done by the residents of the program. Many people that make the family of El Regreso. That's what we call it, a family. You come in here, you're part of a family. A family that is structured, a family that's disciplined, a family that will give you love, a family that will teach you, a family that someday will stick with you once you go back into that world. The world will not change for you, but you need to change for that world out there. One of the things, good and bad, that happened, I come into a neighborhood that is nothing but a drug market, and 26 years later, this community has changed dramatically. Dramatically. If you read in the paper, Williamsburg has become one of the cheap communities of New York City. You cannot rent any apartment here for less than $1,500 to $2,000. The whole makeup of the community is different. This used to be a strictly Puerto Rican community, and that no longer is true. And I gotta say, a little gentrification has happened. El Regreso is a bilingual, bicultural treatment program. Aquí se habla español. Now again, se habla español, but we will make sure that those people attend some kind of English as a second language, and when they finish our treatment program, they are able to speak English, have a job, pay taxes, and become useful citizens of this country. Because I say it many times, this is the best country in the world if you do what you need to do with your life.